What we're going to first do is revise some multiplication of fractions, okay? So very easily, if I gave you guys 3 over 8 multiplied by 4 over 9, what would you tell me the answer is? Josh? Yeah? Josh did 12 over 72. Is there any number that will divide into 12 and 72? 6. Let's do 6 first, if you want. 12 divided by 6? 2. 72 divided by 6? And I'm finding 12 over 2 over 12? 1 over 6. Now, that's a real first year way of doing it, if you don't mind me saying. You guys are in honours maths. Here's the way I want you thinking about things. First thing I want you to ask yourself is, all those numbers, the 3, the 4, the 8 and the 9, are they fully factorised? I want you to fully factorise them before you do anything. Can I do anything with the 3? 3 times 1 only, isn't it? No, just give me a sec. 3 times 1, no good. Just give me a second longer, Killian, alright? What can I break up 8 into? 4 times 2, couldn't I? If I wanted. Or I could break up into 2 times 2 times 2. Would everybody be happy with 8 being broken up like this? I just want to show you a different way of thinking about it, okay? I know it's a slightly harder way of thinking about it, but I just want you to indulge me for a second. Have I changed anything? Is that still 3 over 8? What about the 4? Okay, yeah. 3 times 3. Now, because this is multiplication, do you got it? Because this is multiplication, I can just write them all beside each other. 3 by 2 2's, and on the bottom, 3 2's and how many 3's? 2 3's. And anything on the top can be crossed off with anything on the bottom. That 2 with that 2, that 2 with that 2, that 3 with that 3. And what's left over? 1 on the top and a 2 and a 3 on the bottom, which is a... Now I get it. Isn't that much harder than what we were doing a minute ago? It is. But just bear with me a second, right? Let me try another one for you. Here's the next one we're going to try out. Okay. Imagine I made up a number like... let's go even again, all right? So let's go 16 divided by 24. Let's go for... I don't want an odd number. 20, 35, and you can be 7, all right? Now, when you see a divide by sign, what do you remember you had to do from last year? Yes?
You turn it in plus and...
Not plus.
Oh.
And turn it into multiply. Now, here's what I'd like you to do next, all right? I want you to factorize stuff first, all right? Now, what I might ask you is, you don't have to fully factorize it sometimes, but if I turn 16 into 2 multiplied by 8, let's say, yeah? What can I turn the 35 into? 5 by 7. And then that can be a 7 there. And the 24 can turn into 3 and 8 would be a good idea. You're not wrong with 6 and 4. Now, what you're allowed to do is, if it's multiply, anything on the bottom can go after anything on the top. So this 8 is allowed to attack that 8. That 7 can attack that 7. And then 2 multiplied by 5, 10 over 3. For multiplication only, anything on the bottom can attack anything on the top. If I change this, if I went back here, and we did this instead, if that was a plus sign, that won't work anymore, because you'd have to get a common denominator and work it out that way. This only works for multiplication. Everybody cool? Really drilling that point home, all right? Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to go for the questions on the board, 11 and 12. Now look at this. All right, 8xx, cool with that? 5yy. Now that 10 could be broken up into 2 times. Actually, I'll get rid of the x because the multiplication sign is confusing with the x's. Is everybody all right with that? Just going to get rid of it. Just going to treat it as a dot. Okay. That can be, what can I break 10 up into? 2 times 5y, y over. Because I didn't have to break up the 8 because the 8 will cancel with the other 8. If that was a 4 on the bottom, I would have broken up the 8 into 2 times 4. And then look at this. A cancels with A. Y cancels with Y. Y cancels with Y. X cancels with. 5 cancels with. Just 2x over 1, and 2x is the answer. Will you guys try question 12 on your own? I want you to step 1. Turn the other one upside down and use the multiplication sign. I use dots instead of multiplication signs because sometimes you have x's and I don't like using the multiplication sign. So I use dots. Is that okay with you guys? Or alternatively, you could use brackets. Okay, that's another way of doing it. Now, what we said earlier, Rory, is that anything on the bottom can attack anything on the top. The 5 on the bottom can attack that 5 on the top. Now, 5a squared is actually 5aa. Would you agree with that? So what's aa divided by a? So those a's cancel. Now what's b squared? How many b's are in b squared? 3 of them, isn't it? So it's sorry, b cubed, so b, and b squared will be just 2 b's. Now, finally, once again, anything on the bottom can attack anything on the top. B cancels with B, B cancels with B. Now we're left with 16b divided by 8, 2b. Everybody all right with that? Oh, where's the A? Oh, there's an A there as well. So 2ab. Well done. David corrected me on my technique. I'm not wrong, but David was just that bit more accurate than I was. What he decided to do was he decided to break up the 16b squared. He said, I have an 8 on the bottom, so I'm going to turn the 16 into 2 times 8. And then, oh, that's perfect, b. Then the 8's cancel directly, and you're still left with 2ab. Is that okay? That's perfect, better than me. Okay? Now, 11 and 12 done. If this is where it gets really difficult, let me show you now. Yes, sir. No, I would have got full marks as well that time. Okay. Now, here's what we do. Here's the split. Would everybody agree with that? That's where they separate. It's upside down because I need to change it to multiply, don't I? So why don't I just wrap it in brackets? So this one can be 2x plus 2 over x, and then the other one is still the same. Everybody cool with that? Now, you have to look at each sector and determine if each sector is fully factorized. Now, in my opinion, I don't think that's not, sorry, I'll just use colors here instead. Okay, yellow section can be factorized. Everybody agree with that? Green section, that can be factorized. And the pink section, that can be factorized as well. So I'm going to factorize 3 out of the 4 sections. Does that make sense? So how am I going to factorize them? Let's begin. How do you factorize the yellow part? X into? Excellent. All right. And then how do you factorize the pink part? 2 numbers that multiply to give you 2, but add to give you 3. So 2 plus 1. Excellent. What about this one here? The 2x plus 2? 2 and x plus 1 all over x. Anything from the bottom versus anything from the top. Do you got it? Okay. Aiden, what can I get rid of? This x plus 2? What else can that go with? Is there anything on top that's the same? Excellent. This x plus 1 with the other. This x with? The answer is 2. All that turns into 2. Alrighty. So if I did 20.